Welcome back to Couch Talk, everybody. I'm Joe, and today we're here to talk about the trailer for Dark Phoenix. I held off on watching it for a little while because I wanted to wait until I could make this video immediately after, so it was my raw thoughts, and it looks fine. The problem is, and it's not their fault, this is the final X-Men movie under the Fox banner before Marvel completely takes the rights over and pretty much recasts everyone and just reboots the franchise. And it doesn't feel like a final movie and like a trilogy. Like, it doesn't feel like an Avengers to wrap up like movies before it. It just doesn't feel like that final hurrah. And again, it's not their fault because they didn't know going into this that this whole thing was going to happen. But it's just sad that it's going to end here. And I'm wondering if the reshoots have to do with that and if they're going to tie it all up in a nice little bow. Another sad thing is that all these actors, the kid playing Cyclops and the girl from Game of Thrones playing Jean Grey, no one signs up for superhero movies anymore to do one or two. You always sign up for three. It's like a known thing. Like, you always usually sign up for a trilogy. And they're not going to get that final movie out of their contract. So they're kind of getting, the shit end of the stick, which kind of sucks. Because I like the kid that was from Ready Player One that played Cyclops. I think he's really good. I think they do his Cyclops better justice than they did in the original X-Men movies, who they completely just treated like trash. He was one of the coolest characters in the cartoon, and he never got the justice he deserved on the big screen. He was such a badass fighter, and he never got in any fights. Forget it. Anyway, about this movie, it looks good, but like I said, just knowing that this is the final one, this seems like the one before the final one to set up the final one. It doesn't really look like there's a whole lot of action in it. I mean, the trailer didn't have a whole lot of action. It has action from Jean Grey, but you don't see it anywhere else. And it has Magneto doing the same thing he's always doing, where he's kind of like the villain, but not really. The whole cast is there. James McAvoy is back as Charles Xavier and stuff, and he's amazing in the role. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see these characters take on another story, but I'm not excited to see it end here. And this is a phenomenal story. If anyone follows the comic, the origin of how she becomes the Dark Phoenix is really good, and she's technically the villain of the movie. I mean, I'm sure you know that if you've seen the trailer, but in case some people are confused, she's technically the villain. This movie is a very small, confined movie. It's kind of like Ant-Man and the Wasp in the sense of you get movies like Infinity War and Age of Ultron and Avengers and even Captain America the Winter Soldier and all these movies that just feel really big in its scope and what they're doing. And then you get a movie like Ant-Man and the Wasp that's just very confined and small. And then you get a movie like this where the conflict is within the group. The drama and the tension is all within the team. So there's no outside greater villain like Thanos or Loki or somebody that they're all fighting against. So I mean, there's not going to be a big carnage count. The thing I like about superhero movies is watching the superheroes beat up bad guys. I just don't know if I'm going to get that in this one because the only bad guy is Jean Grey, and they're not going to kill her. So it's I don't know. One of the biggest disappointments to me about Apocalypse was that no one really got a moment to shine in fighting anybody except Nightcrawler. Cyclops didn't really get to do anything cool in the last one, and I think the big problem is I really want to see Cyclops get in a couple scuffles because I'd never gotten them before on the big screen, and it's this is my last chance to get it from an actor I actually like, Ty Sheridan, I believe his name is. So I'm just curious to see what kind of antagonist outside of Jean Grey they're gonna have, because it looks like there's a couple scenes where they're all bruised and beat up, and they definitely got out of some kind of scrap, and I don't know if it's with her or if it was with somebody else that they're keeping a secret. All I know is I don't think this movie looks bad. I just don't think that the trailer showed me enough to make me excited either. And again, like I said, I think I'd be also a little bit more excited if I knew that there was going to be a final one after this one, and that this was kind of a precursor, a build up to that one. Because like I said, it's just, I have a sour taste in my mouth at the fact that this is the last one. Also, as a side note, Simon Kinberg is directing this movie, and it's his first movie, his first directorial debut. He has, however, produced pretty much every other X-Men movie ever made. So I'm taking a little bit of comfort in knowing that he knows what works and what doesn't. He sees all the fan backlash and the critics and what they say. So I'm really hoping that he uses that knowledge in his favor to create something that kind of the fans want, because they kind of dropped the ball with making her turn into the Dark Phoenix at the end of Apocalypse. They rushed that, and it wasn't supposed to happen there. Just food for thought. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited for this movie? Do you want there to be another one? Do you think there will be another one if it does well enough at the box office? Maybe Marvel will allow it. Let me know what you guys think, and as always, I'll catch you next time.